Few words trigger instant fear like cyanide. It's been linked to assassinations, spy stories, wartime tragedies, and dramatic poisonings in movies. Just hearing the name feels dangerous. But here's the surprising truth. Cyanide isn't just a poison from crime novels. It exists in nature. It's used in industry. And in controlled settings, it even plays a role in modern medicine. So what is cyanide really? How does it work? And why is something so dangerous still used today? Let's break it down. What is cyanide? Cyanide isn't one single substance. It's a chemical group, a carbon atom bonded to a nitrogen atom. This simple pairing forms compounds known collectively as cyanides. Some cyanides are gases. Some are solids. Some occur naturally, while others are man-made. What they all share is the ability, in certain forms and amounts, to interfere with how living cells use oxygen. And that's where the danger comes from. Natural sources of cyanide. One of the biggest misconceptions is that cyanide is purely artificial. In reality, small amounts occur naturally. Cyanide compounds can be found in bitter almonds, apple seeds, apricot pits, and cassava roots. Many plants produce cyanide as a defense mechanism against insects and animals. In everyday foods, these amounts are extremely small and generally harmless when properly prepared. Our bodies can safely process tiny traces without any issue. The danger comes from concentration, not mere presence. How cyanide works in the body. To understand cyanide's effects, you need to understand oxygen. Your body doesn't just need oxygen in the lungs. It needs oxygen inside every cell to produce energy. Cyanide disrupts this process. It blocks a critical enzyme in the mitochondria, the part of the cell responsible for energy production. When this happens, cells can no longer use oxygen, even if plenty is available in the blood. In simple terms, cyanide causes internal suffocation at the cellular level. Organs with high energy demands, like the brain and heart, are affected first. Symptoms of cyanide poisoning. Because cyanide interferes with cellular energy, symptoms can appear quickly in serious exposures. They may include headache and confusion, rapid breathing, nausea, and loss of coordination. In severe cases, collapse and loss of consciousness. The speed of onset is one reason cyanide developed such a terrifying reputation. That said, outcomes depend heavily on the type, amount, and exposure time, as well as how quickly medical care is provided. Cyanide in history, assassinations, and war. Cyanide's notoriety comes largely from history. It has been used in high-profile assassinations, espionage during wartime, suicide capsules issued to spies to avoid capture, chemical warfare programs in the 20th century. Perhaps most infamously, cyanide compounds were used during the Holocaust, a historical atrocity that forever linked the chemical with mass murder. These events shaped cyanide's image as the ultimate poison, even though its uses and chemistry are far more complex. Industrial uses of cyanide. Despite its danger, cyanide is still widely used today under strict regulation. Industries use it for gold and silver mining, metal plating and polishing, chemical manufacturing, plastics, and synthetic fibers. In mining, cyanide helps separate precious metals from ore efficiently, a process that made modern electronics and jewelry production possible. In these settings, safety protocols are critical. When handled correctly, cyanide can be used without harming workers or the public. Can cyanide be neutralized? Yes, and this surprises many people. There are medical antidotes for cyanide exposure that work by binding to cyanide or restoring cellular oxygen use. Hospitals and emergency responders are trained to recognize and treat cyanide poisoning quickly when it occurs. This doesn't make cyanide safe, but it does mean it isn't always automatically fatal, especially with prompt treatment. Myths and misconceptions. Let's clear up a few myths. Myth 1. Cyanide kills instantly every time. In reality, effects depend on exposure level and response time. Myth 2. All cyanide smells like bitter almonds. Only some people can detect that smell at all, and many never will. Myth 3. Cyanide has no legitimate uses. In fact, modern industry relies on it more than most people realize. Fear often replaces facts when it comes to chemicals we don't understand. Environmental impact of cyanide. Cyanide can be dangerous to ecosystems if released improperly. Mining accidents have caused water contamination in the past, leading to fish kills and environmental damage. Because of this, environmental regulations around cyanide use have become increasingly strict, with monitoring, containment systems, and cleanup requirements designed to reduce risk. Like many powerful chemicals, cyanide demands responsibility. Conclusion: the balance of danger and utility. Cyanide is one of the most feared chemicals in the world, and for good reason. But it's also naturally occurring, scientifically understood, medically treatable, industrially useful. Its story is not just about danger, but about how humanity manages powerful tools. Cyanide reminds us that science itself is rarely good or evil. It's how we choose to use it that matters. And now, when you hear the word cyanide, you know the truth behind the fear.